It all started on a Saturday night. I'm at my apartment and I just got home and I decided that it was time to go to bed. I just needed to crash. And unfortunately I have sleep apnea, so I have to wear a CPAP machine. Now basically it's this machine, it's like this big plastic mask. I like to say that I look like Darth Vader, but like I look like Top Gun, but I sound like Darth Vader because it's just like, it's terrible. But I sleep with this thing on, and it's like, I've had it for so long, it's basically like having a binky. If I don't sleep with it on, it's just not right. So I put it on, and I'm laying in bed, and all of a sudden, I think that I smell something. And I'm like, what is that horrible smell? And I can't believe that I actually smelled it, even with the CPAP container on. I whip it off, and I look over, and my heater is on fire. Like literally on fire, like blazing in my apartment. Now, I have a very small apartment, so all of my stuff is just like on top of each other. And I'm like, oh my God, so I jump out of bed, I rip off the CPAP machine, I'm grabbing paper off the floor, I'm whipping the bureau out of the way. I'm like, what do I do? I mean, like, what kind of fire exactly is this? I'm like, is it electrical? Do I throw like baking soda on it, or do I get a fire extinguisher? Like, what do I do next? So I look down and it starts like going out, and now it's just kind of smoldering, and there's all this smoke in my apartment, and it smells really bad. And now I'm kind of worried, and I'm a little scared, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna call the fire department. So I called the fire department, and I said, a little shaky, you know, and I'm like, you know, my heater in my apartment just caught on fire. Do you think somebody could stop by and take a look at it? Now, at this point, it's like 12:30 at night, and I'm standing there, and then all of a sudden, I hang up the phone, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, I became highly aware of the fact that I wasn't wearing any pants. And I was like, oh, I've got to take care of this before anybody gets here. So I grab pants off the floor, and I throw them on, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not wearing a bra either. So, you know, I grab a bra off the floor, I'm putting it on, and I'm like, my apartment is so dirty. So, you know, it's still smoldering. I got smoke going everywhere, and here I am, like, taking underwear off the floor, putting it in the barrel, wiping off the counter. I'm like, it's got to look a little bit clean before they come over. So then, of course, the fire department guys come over, and of course, it's like mandatory that all firefighters are absolutely gorgeous in like full uniform, like they've got like the air tanks on and stuff, like they're ready for action. And I'm like, yeah, right over there. So they come over, they're looking at it, and they're trying to figure out what's wrong, and they, you know, kind of guide me into the other room. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is the most terrible thing. So they decide to turn the electricity off just in case anything else catches fire. So they're rocking my refrigerator back and forth, trying to get to like shut off all the stuff, to shut off the electricity, and it was just like, this is crazy. So finally, it's now like 1 o'clock in the morning. I've had everybody and their grandmother in my apartment. Everybody has come in, the super has come down and ripped out my entire heater. My whole house smells like smoke. And I'm sitting there, and you're thinking, okay, now what could possibly happen next? Well, what possibly happens next is the actual accident. I walk into my bedroom, and I look over in the corner, and that's when my heart just drops in my chest. And there's my vibrator sitting on the table right next to my bed.